Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing? Well, I know it's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks since I have made a video, and that's not to say that I haven't actually filmed anything, because I have. And I will edit those and get those to you, but we've had some stuff going on around here, and it's not so great and great at the same time. I don't know. We've lost Olivia, and she ended up dying from bloat. It's really unfortunate because we really loved her. Change direction because it's dark that way. We really miss her, actually. So we did end up getting another goat, and we named her Lily. She is a Nigerian dwarf, but I feel like she's mixed with something. I'm not 100% positive that she is full-bred Nigerian dwarf, but either way, it's fine. She's a sweetie, but she's really loud. She's very vocal. And then we did get our beautiful mini horse, Claire, and I'll show you guys her in a minute. Hi, Emmy! Oh, I hear it. She is the sweetest little thing, and very leadable. She can be ridden by little kids. We found out actually a couple days ago that she is she's a registered mini horse. She was a show pony, so she's a little Miss Fancy Pants. We didn't know that at first when we first got her. We got her from a rescue, and yeah, she was at a kill auction, and thankfully they rescued her and we were able to get her. So some of the bad stuff that's been going on, obviously we lost Olivia, and that was like heart-wrenching for us. We had the vet here, $600 later, and she died anyway. So anyway, we also had a close family member pass away. His name was John, and he was sort of our surrogate father and grandfather to the kids. He and Rhonda have come into our lives, and we've all become really, really close. We met Rhonda through Aiden's authors group, because Aiden is an author, and so he's a member of the Whip City Wordsmiths authors group here where we live. And she is as well. She's a children's book author. So that's how we met her a few years ago. And so, you know, more within the past year, we've become really, really close with her and John. And one day I was visiting them. We were visiting them for, actually it was for a birthday celebration. It was just our family and John and Rhonda at their house, and it was a birthday celebration for Emily because her birthday is May 10th and John's birthday is May 11th. So we kind of put it together, and we're there, and I noticed his coloring. His skin was very yellow, and so I looked at his eyes, and the whites were very yellow. So that to me signaled something was wrong. He hadn't been feeling well. He had his knees were really hurting him, his joints were really hurting him, and so I told Rhonda that something was wrong and that he needed to get checked immediately. Unfortunately, it was too late. He did go to the hospital. They tried everything they could, and cut to 2 weeks later, and he passed away. I can't even believe how fast that happened. You know, one minute we're sitting at their house talking to him perfectly fine, and the next minute he's gone. It's literally within like 2 weeks. I'm just shocked about it. 2 or 3 weeks, I think. So he's gone, unfortunately, and Rhonda, who I call Mama, is obviously having a hard time, and I keep in touch with her, making sure she's okay, and if she needs anything. It's really, really unfortunate, and again, the speed of how that happened it blows me away how fast that was. So on a brighter note, a couple of things. Aaron graduated here He was homeschooled this year. As many of you know, if you've been watching the videos, he had a near-death accident last July. We're coming up on a year, actually, that happened, July 1st. And because of that accident, he had to be homeschooled for his last year in high school. My other two children are homeschooled and have been for the last couple of years, so it was something that I felt I could take on and really, help him with, so that he could still graduate on time. He was not able to physically go back to school or even remotely go back to school in his condition. He had a TBI, which is a traumatic brain injury, a couple of strokes he had, and he was in no condition to be going back to school in any form. So we took it slow, we did it here, and he graduated. So the local newspaper was looking for articles on different types of graduations, so unusual graduations or any of that kind of stuff. So I decided to write an article about Aaron's. I figured that's pretty unusual, right? Now this is getting really bright. I gotta move you guys. There we go. So I submitted this article with some pictures, and it will be published on the 19th. So that's exciting. And then yesterday I was approached by another journalist who wants to do a story on our homestead. She added a bunch of questions in her email. So she said, like, what gets you into homesteading? Why do you do it? Do the kids get involved? All of that stuff, and then wanted me to add anything else that I could add. So, hey, honey. So that's what I did. And I sent that article out this morning, and I'm about to take a bunch of pictures. Are you gonna go groom Claire? Claire is this one's best friend. She grooms her every day. She takes care of her. So, what are you doing? Oh yeah, you might want to shut the fence off. So I sent that article off, and I'm about to take the pictures that she needs around in different areas, and we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. We have very big squash plants, flowers blooming, that I need to cut out more of the leaves. Somebody's laying an egg. Yep, she's in there. I need to cut out a few more of these leaves because this has grown so big and lush that even though I cut some before, it's still, you can see it, it's really sort of blocking all the sun. And our beautiful bees over there flying around, we want them in here and want them to be able to see these flowers. See Emily over there grooming Claire. See how little she is? She's so tiny. Hi, Em. How's she doing? Alright, that's done. I'm probably going to have to come in here and do a little bit more at some point, but I think for now it's okay. These tomatoes, as you can see, getting pretty big. Already have flowers on them, which means the tomatoes are coming, and same thing for out front. So, one thing I am going to have to get going probably this week is trellising these tomatoes. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it this year because I have tomatoes everywhere. They are back here, they're in the front garden, they're in the side gardens, they're everywhere. And so I have a lot of trellising to do. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is kind of play on what I did last year. If you guys remember, the tomatoes were in where the garlic are now, and there's a meat chicken on my porch. Good morning. How are you? Interesting. Okay. last year I had the tomatoes over here where the garlic is now, and desperately needs to be weeded. And I went up in the woods and I took just some fallen branches, kind of made a trellis with that, so I crisscrossed it both sides and, you know, tied it up. That worked for a little while, and then those branches kind of just really sagged. They were too thin, and for this amount of tomatoes, which is way more than last year everywhere, I think I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna put a twist on it. So, hey honey, you coming out? We are clearing out some of these woods, the woods up here. We're making a trail for Claire, and as part of our farm stand and rent the farm. And so we're gonna be going through there and just clearing a path for this trail. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is when we cut down these little trees, I'm gonna use those thicker pieces and bind it well, and that's will be our trellis. Later this week we're going to be going up to the beehives right there. We're going to check out the beehive and see what they've got going on. We go up and we check in the little window, but that's just for the top. So we know that the bottom, they've been busy little bees in there, in and out, and we know that the bottom has got honeycomb and stuff in it, so we do need to get up there and clear some of that out. Not all of it, they still need food, and that they eat their honey. So, but we do need to clear a little bit of it out and kind of clean it a little bit. So that's what we're going to be doing. Hopefully we can jar some of that honey and put it in the farm stand. All right, I get the pictures taken for the article. Thin nose out. So now those flowers are shining bright for those bees. Checked on the bees. Everybody's swarming around, doing really well. Got my right-hand man here, filling up the water for Claire. Look it!
What?
There's peas growing right here on the outside of the fence.
Oh, really?
That's peas.
Oh, I see it.
That's funny!
Cool.
Oh, right there too!
They might be just... I
might have dropped seeds.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'm gonna let them grow. And what am I doing? I have to harvest. I have about an hour before the farm stand opens, so I need to harvest the lettuces from here. It's crazy how fast these are growing back, but I got to harvest the lettuces from here and get them washed and get them out there. Now I wash it out. I washed the lettuce probably, I think 3 or 4 times to get it really clean. And that's just because I'm really picky with lettuce. When we harvest it to eat ourselves, I wash it constantly. I'll go through every leaf and wash it. That's just how I am with it. So I will wash this really, really well, dry it out, and then package it and put it in the farm stand. I mean, how much more fresh can you get, right? When I tell people that I pick it fresh, I pick it fresh. My neighbor came over a few days ago and she got some things out of the farm stand and she wanted more Swiss chard. Took the bag, walked over, cut the Swiss chard for her.